Yeah, I think the season, in a weird way, has worked out very well for Brandon. You know, as you guys know, he's missed all of the off season, missed all of training camp. Got to play in the fourth game of the year, got thrust into action. Wasn't really ready for it. Okay, him and I talked about that. Then he got to play a few more weeks later in a game. One of the starters was out. Then has now had this long stretch here. I don't know. You guys, 3 or 4 in a row where he's had to play full time. So in a different way, it's worked out great for him, and he's playing much, much better now. Yeah, he's fair share of mobile quarterbacks, yes. Then there's Lamar Jackson. You know, he's unlike anybody else. The only other player that's been like him in the last 50 years is Michael Vick, and he's a tremendous player. You know, kudos to Ozzie and Eric for picking him. You know, 31 other teams that passed him by, you know, are kicking themselves. He's really improved over the years. He's dynamic with the ball, good passer. You know, he makes their offense go. I just think we do a good job of rushing as a unit and playing good team defense. Changing up coverages helps, buys the guy another second or two to get there. I think it's all 11 guys playing together. And the guys rushing as a unit, not as individuals. And to think we'd set a record, you know, for this franchise after 15 games, you know, I really didn't expect that, but I really don't think along those lines either, records. Yeah, I mean, the pure definition of a great quarterback, there's no one way to play him, you know, because if there was, everybody would do it. So you just have to mix up what you're doing. And, you know, and along the way, they have a hell of a run game. And both from their players' ability, the O-line, tight ends, and the runners, but the scheme of it with Lamar at the helm makes it a difficult task. So there's a lot to prepare for, a lot to defend in this offense. Yeah, I think he has. He's just incrementally gotten a little bit better each week in the small details. Yeah, we kind of changed the way we were playing him. But, you know, he's primarily in that game was in the slot. So, you know, he's a hard guy to match then with one guy. No, I mean, what happened there was they ran a play at the end of the game instead of taking a knee to get an extra 4 or 5 yards rushing. And our players were all upset about it. And the way the timing worked on Mondays after our games, I would meet with the media before any player would. Then I'd have a team meeting. And so I took the hit. I said something publicly, and I told the players that so they would let it go to bed, and they never said anything. So it was one to just finish the story without our players getting involved. I could care less if they run another play. Yeah, I think they've all, to various degrees, have played well, you know, when called upon, and especially after they've had chances to prepare for the playing time instead of just getting thrown in there in the middle of a game or at the end of a game with not much work, not only for that week, but previous week. So I think they've all done great. You know, I don't never looked at Van Ginkel as a backup anyway. Who are the other guys you talked about? And we talked about Brandon already. Yeah, Duke. You know, I'm not surprised that Duke has played well. Yeah, not bad. You know, considering the circumstances, only been here a little bit, hadn't played any ball since last season. I think Melvin's an instinctive player. Football comes natural to him, but he hadn't played. And I think, you know, the more he gets in the football shape, the better he can play. You know, the offense has changed a little bit, you know, from last year. They've had change in the coordinator. They kept the same running game, basically. And, you know, they're throwing the ball a little differently now. And they've got, you know, the best group of receivers that they've had there in a long time. Both. You know, there's some weeks it's just a number, and some weeks I know the guy's name totally. That's why I always come in here with a flip card.
Yeah.